pranams to you. Today we will be discussing about the customs and rituals or sadacharas meant for elevating our health. In the last class, for about 15 minutes, we discussed about the acharas or customs and rituals meant for elevating the mind, for creating optimism in the mind, for creating fearlessness and angerlessness in the mind, for building a positive attitude in the mind, for building an attitude of converting negatives into positives. And all this I explained within 15 minutes, directly linking them with the acharas. Now I am sure that you will be in a position to find out more and more acharas, and whatever possible apply or practice in your life and also in the life of your children right from the day number 1. You try to give them the messages. Say for example, at the age of 3, if you start giving the messages, the stories and the experiences to your children, if you start motivating them right from the age of 3, all whatever you are giving, that will be definitely present in their mind. Many a times we think that we have to teach the children when they become mature after 10 or 12 years. But remember that after the age of 12 or 13, when the adolescence level comes, they will generally become atheist, or they will become non-believers, or their attitude is to fight against, to challenge everything. But at that time, if you start giving the messages or the experiences or stories to your children, they will outright reject. You can see that when at the age of 3 onwards, if you are giving these messages, stories and other things, they will be eagerly waiting for listening to you. And give them in the simplest possible way. And whatever you give them, if you are giving the stories, give in the end the message of the story also. If you are giving the explanations or experiences, give at the end the messages also. Or if you are giving directly the messages, remember that it should be given in the wavelength of the child. You should not give too heavy materials to them. They will not understand at all. If you continuously give for a long period, they will start sleeping and yawning. So give in small dose and then promote them, motivate them for asking questions. You also prepare to give the answer. This continue from the age of 3 up to 6th generally. When your student, your child become 6 years of age, naturally he will start asking questions to you. So you answer the question and continuously feed the messages, experiences and stories in the positive way. And also tell him through the stories or experiences, when negatives are done, what will happen to the person who is doing the negative. When positives are done or positives are practiced, what will be happening to the person who is practicing the positives. And with the example you give, with the stories you give, so that they will be taking it very easily. And whatever you have given in the previous day, you try to recollect that. And you inform the child to recollect the previous day's stories and experiences. This will definitely improve the memory power also. Remember that there is no medicine in this world which improve the memory power biochemically. Many people are cheating you by saying that Ayurvedic medicines are there, modern medicines are there, which can improve the memory power of your child. There is nothing like that. Memory power can be improved by memorizing and by remembering and by reminding. So whatever you have taught yesterday, the previous days, you try to recollect by yourself and also make the child to recollect whatever he has heard, not only in your classes but also in the schools. After the age of 6, naturally they will be asking the questions to your statements, as I told you earlier. And when the child reaches the age of 9 or so, he will start objecting some of your statement. He will start rejecting some of your statement. When he rejects some of your statement, you have to accommodate that. And also you have to adjust with that. And if he is arguing, try to listen from him what he is arguing, why he is arguing. Remember that from the age of 9, naturally they will be meeting many of the friends. They will be collecting the outside world views, and they will be understanding variety of other knowledge. So naturally you are not the only knowledge giver to your child. So your duty is to give good messages for making them good and great. Your duty is to give them the good experiences for making them good and great. So you have to give the experiences of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam and Satish Dhawan, Mahatma Gandhi, Abraham Lincoln, Maharshi Aurobindo, Swami Vivekananda. In fact, I should have told Swami Vivekananda's name first. Shankaracharya, Ramana Maharshi, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, and so on. Those who have literally done good thing for the world, those who were unbiased and who served the mankind, give their experiences also. But remember that don't try to give Abraham Lincoln's experience, Mahatma Gandhi's experience at the age of 3. They may not be taking it. If at all you are giving at younger ages, make it a point that you dilute it as much as possible. Then, but don't distort it. Then you are giving that one, it will be helping a lot. So elevating the mind should start right from the age of 3. Some of the child or some children, you can see that they will be in a position to accept your contribution still earlier. Some of the children, you can see, they will be taking it right from the age of 2 or 2.5. So you give, but don't give very seriously. Give just like storytelling with a smiling face. Ultimate aim is to convert them a good human being and a great human being. Making them good, you have to provide value-based knowledge. Making them great, you have to provide modern knowledge. These two should be given scientifically, logically and rationally. Never allow them to think that whatever they believe is correct. Never allow them to think that whatever they follow is correct. Many of the atheists, you can see that whatever they do not know, they will not agree with others. Whatever they have studied, they have learned decades ago, they will be repeating the same thing. And they will be going on asking trash questions which are not relevant as far as the subject is concerned. And if they want to fight, atheists want to fight with somebody else, if I say earth is spherical, immediately the atheist who is not interested in listening me will ask, who said earth is spherical? So remember that questions should be asked, challenges should be entertained, comments should be motivated, but not a biased, lenient angle. It should be open. It should be definitely healthy discussion, healthy challenging, healthy questioning. What is meant by healthy? It should have a constructive purpose. It should develop the mind and wisdom. Not merely asking questions, not merely protesting, not merely shouting the slogan and not criticizing everything, whatever they do not approve, whatever they do not agree, whatever they think are superstition. Many of the superstitions earlier practiced have become science and good such acharas now. But that these atheists may not be in a position to understand because their wavelength is set at a particular thing, just like FM radio. Their FM radios will be broadcasting only in that particular wavelength. Their wavelength cannot be changed. Your child should never become, your children should never become an FM radio. Whatever is received from the head of the atheist, that is broadcasted through this radio. Your children should be in a position to analyze it logically, rationally and scientifically. And also remember that Sir Isaac Newton could discover and analyze the gravity when the apple fallen on his head. But the gravity is not merely applicable only for the apple. Gravity is applicable for mangoes, jackfruit and others also. But the atheists or the so-called radicals, if they do not like your statement, they will start asking so many questions. And in their mind, only Sir Isaac Newton discovered the gravity. If I say that in 1148 Bhaskaracharya too has told Akrishti Shaktischa Mahidayayat Ghastam Guruswabhimugam Sasaktya Akrishyade Tatpatati Dibhati Same Samandatko Patatyayamke. Whichever solid material is there in the sky, that will be attracted by the earth by its own force towards its center. Whichever is getting attracted, that will be falling down. This is the statement given by Bhaskaracharya. Say, if I say to you, I say to a group of people who are the so-called atheists and do not appreciate Indian contribution in science, they will always be thinking that only Sir Isaac Newton discovered gravity, so nobody else can do that discovery. So if at all Gopalakrishnan or somebody says that gravity is discovered by Bhaskaracharya, it is nothing but fraud, bogus. So make your children good and great by keeping their mind open for different type of thoughts. Never build the mind of your children in a pathway making them claim that only what they say, what they think, what they approve, what they know, only those things are correct. Never create such a mind in your children. They do more harm to this nation, to the society, to the family than even terrorists. Many people I have seen, they are deadly against any Sanskrit, deadly against Vedas, deadly against Indian heritage, even deadly against India. If we say something good about India, they will immediately poke the negatives of India. There may be negatives and positives. You can tell that when there are great achievements of India and also failures. Positives and negatives need not be, you need not become one-sided. So through elevating the mind, uddhared atmanatmanam, elevate the mind, na atmanam avasadayat. Never allow them to denigrate themselves. Atma iva chatmano bandhu. They themselves are their own relatives. Atma iva ripuratmana. They should not become their own enemies. So the acharas connected with elevating the mind, I have told you in 2 classes. The next class we will be discussing about the acharas meant for elevating the health of the body. With these words, I would like to express my gratitude. Pranams to you.